Hello my lovelies, welcome to another crafting video and another session of our edging series. So today is old magazine papers, old book papers, and you need to cut yourself some strips. Doesn't matter what size the strips are really. You're going to cut yourself some vertical strips and we're going to glue them on here horizontally to start with. Try and pick, these are all from a Daphne's diary. So if you're getting them from a publication, say that if you would say doing your journals to sell, you can't put Daphne's diary whole pages and use them and sell them, but you can cut them up so they're not recognizable in a project such as this. So that's what I usually do with them when I finish reading them. The last time we did this, in the last series we did, I used some old pages from National Geographic. I love National Geographic. They have some fantastic photos in there, and they have some fantastic mix of colours. But I thought we're doing something a little bit more pastel-y today. If something like National Geographic, something, a magazine publication that's got loads of wonderful photos and colours, they make an even greater mix. But I've cut all my strips out here with some pages, and as you can see, it doesn't matter what they are, you know, you just anything. There's some photos, it's like a diary, and some writing. That doesn't matter because, you know, we're going to use it on this strip. So I've got my glue book here, and I'm just going to carry on gluing this, and then we'll look at the next stage. So let's see, this is going to be in my way, I think, this glue book. Let's move, I'll move them over there, that'll be a bit easier, won't it? Okay, I'll do my glue book sideways on, that's a bit better. So what you've got to do is you're going to alternate. I feel like I need a bit of pattern next, so we're going to alternate these strips. Get yourself some thin card backing so that that's we've got a sturdy edge when we do cut them. This is some of that card, you know, when you buy shirts or tops and things and they come wrapped, and well, they do certainly here, and you wrap them round, the shirts wrap round something cardboard like this, and it's great for using for such as this. I usually end up going on a right wonky journey with these, but that doesn't really matter, does it? So let's see, we'll put a bit of that one next. You don't have to think about it too carefully, because it's a bit like doing your masterboards, that until you cut the tags up, you're never quite sure how they're going to look. It's one of those really, and that's all part of the pleasure, not knowing what the end result's going to be when you cut them up. I've got my bone foam. So I hope you're all well, and I got an email this morning, the newsletter from Tracy at Tracy Fox Creative. I want you to go over there and give them some love, especially if you're outside of the EU and outside of Ireland, Northern Ireland, because there's some new laws coming that are going to drastically affect their business. It makes me feel so sad. And there's such stringent laws that you're going to have to pay somebody to check that the stuff you're selling is suitable. I mean, how ridiculous is that? How ridiculous is that? And, you know, for such as Tracy and Justin and other people, say Rachel, Roxy Creations, they rely on their craft shops. They rely on their Etsy shop. I mean, the thing is, you need to go and support Tracy and Justin on their website. But again, you know, they've probably had to put something in there to stop anybody buying it outside the EU and outside of the EU and Northern Ireland. I mean, I can think of other really big, there's lots of other digital creators in the UK. There'll be Artie Mays, there'll be, you know, Rach and Bella Crafts. There's loads of wonderful creative businesses that are going to be affected by this, and it just makes me sad. It makes me sad. Are they not making up rules for the sake of making up rules? I mean, fortunately, the first time that we'd probably say fortunately, we left the EU, because there's been a lot of other consequences from that for businesses. But fortunately, then, us not being in the EU, that these shops can sell within the UK. So it's mainly their UK and US markets that are not affected at the moment. It makes me sad. So go over to Every Little Helps. Go over to Tracy Fox Creative. Go over to their website, because it's the impact is mainly, I think they've had to close their Etsy, I think, at the minute. Just double check that. I'm not sure if that's what she meant, but go and show some love if you are in the States and in the UK, please. Right, I've run out of board. This will do us. Not same size, but that doesn't matter. So we're just going to carry on. Carry on lining our... I didn't do that very good. No glue on that bit. Trying to do it too quick, aren't I? Let's see. See, even if you wanted that bit, that side, you could do that side for a change. Sorry, I'm gluing it off camera because I'm going in a mess trying to glue it in view. So I hope you're all keeping well. It's gone really cold here again in the UK, and does that surprise me? No. We're heading for a long Easter bank holiday. So, you know, we often have this glorious weather leading up to Easter, and then when people, you know, a lot of people have got a bank holiday weekend off, it's awful. There we go. Now then, let's put a bit of that on. So you just randomly glue in, and I find glue sticks the best. You don't want any glue that's too wet, because you're wanting this to dry for what we're going to do next. So see what else we've got. Ooh, bit of, that's quite nice, bit of writing there. Let's open a new glue stick. This is my favourite, the Scotch glue. These are they last really well, because these are the larger size. 40 gram. And I'll just buy a box full, and they last me well over a year. I'm trying to think how many. Is 12 in a box, something like that. I'll turn that around that way, so we haven't got two lots of writing together. some pink on. So we're just going to, you know, you can do a bit of a mass make with this. Do all your cuts of your strips to start with, then do this stage, and then you can do all your cutting last. I'm waiting for somebody to come and sort out our front door. There's a problem with it, it's sticking, and when I tried to pull it, the whole handle come off in my hand. So David sat downstairs waiting for the tradesman to come, and sometimes, because it's the front door, they'll go right round the front, which is nowhere near where you can get in easily. So he's down there waiting. So you'll know they've arrived if we suddenly hear Nelson barking and hear him even up here. But it's a very grey day. I'm just looking out my window upstairs in our spare bedroom. Craft room, spare bedroom, office. Somewhere for me to sleep at times when my CPAP machine's playing up and it disturbs David. It's got many uses, this room. Okay then. So there we have it. Okay, let me just put my glue over there for now. We've got a few strips here left over. I'll do another one. I've got another piece of card, I think, over here. With a thin piece of card. We might get a bit on there. Yeah, use that. Okay then, so I think I need my I'm going to use my cutter. You can use a knife, a metal ruler and a craft knife for this. But I'm going to use this. I'm just going to cut it back down to the edgings. Not quite dry. I don't really want to stick, so ideally you'd let them dry properly. Right, okay then, so I have to do a bit of patching on that. You're going to find odd edges that need a bit more glue, but that's okay. How wide you want your strips is up to you. So these are the strips. God, they're lovely. Do you see how lovely they come out? I love them. You could have them that wide. You could even have them, you know, you can make them into, can you see? You could have them that wide. You could even make them into side tucks. You could cut them and make them into belly bands, but you know, we're doing edgings, so I don't want them too big. So what is that giving us? Is that about an inch? It is. So I'm going to cut my strips about an inch wide, and you, oh sorry, I knocked you. And we are doing them now vertically. So you put all your papers on horizontally, and then we are going to put these on. Okay, so that is our inch strip. It's going to have to be a guesstimate. We can't be perfect with these. and get them straight because that was wonky. Bear with the noise. There we have our strips. Let's have a look what we've got. So I love them. Can you see? It doesn't matter what you use in your strips because we're cutting them in the completely different direction. And how unique are these edgings now? Eh? I love these. In fact, these are giving a totally different look to what did I do with my, I'm trying to think what I did with my other journal. Not the one I've taken apart. I've taken it apart to sell it, and then now we're not going to be able to sell things. Is it under here? No, it's not. That's fine. That's okay. I don't know where I've put the other one at the moment. I was going to show you the effect we got with the National Geographic. Same sort of thing. Just the only difference is I did them in greens and forestry colours, whereas these have given a totally different vibe this time, which is good. That's what you want. You want something a bit different every time, don't you, really? There's that one there. Right, let's have a look in our... I need my art glitter glue for this. Right, let's have a look in our journal and see where we could put some... Love. See where we can put these. Now, they're needing to be smaller pages, I think. That will be perfect. Just get my glue book out. Because that's going to be stuck on the top, I'd be better using the glue stick. I'm all excited. They look lovely. I'll be wanting to stick them on everything now. Let's give that a good press down. Because we're on to the vellum. It sometimes takes a little while to stick. Okay. So you can see how that started that row off. Now then, that's turned over, isn't it? And we decided we'd either leave it or not. Well, I'm not now because I think that would be a nice edge to put something down. Let's see where the smaller one was. We had the smaller one, didn't we? Might not be long enough. Go down to there. Yeah, that's going on the page. So again, we'll glue that with the stick. Now, obviously, it's got plain card at the back. So if you're having them hanging over the edge, you need to double back them. We could, we'll have got plenty to do that. And you can see, you can just need to do a little repair on some of your strip pieces where they've not quite stuck down. Okay then. would be nice on that side, wouldn't it? So, scissors. Let's just chop that bit down. Put that on that edge. Yeah. So we are building our ideas in our edging repertoire, as they say, using magazine papers and books to make a really unique edging. I like that. There's some of the colours of that wool in there as well, and that was no intention, just the pages I chose out the diary. Okay, now I'm looking at this, and this is how sort of my mind works, is these are very much the same level, all these pieces here. So shall we be thinking about having somewhere, let's see, somewhere in this little stack, a hanging over edge. So let's see, that wouldn't show. That would show, but you haven't got the black. That wouldn't go on there. So by elimination, really, I am going to use this so that we've got it roughly. We're still seeing a bit of the other papers, I think. Either that, or we wouldn't want to put it there. We could put it there, but you'd only have a small piece. We could do that. Right, okay, I want it to hang over, so we're only going to do half. Can't pick it up now. Okay. Let's press that on firmly. Now, we can, if you wanted to, you might not want to put it on the card, but what about if we get one of the strips? Doesn't have to be obvious what it is, just to cover that back up. So glue that. So we have got something. Well, I didn't cut that very well, did I? Poor measuring there, Catherine. There we go. So we have got something as we're turning that page over. You've got something on the back. Now, that looks better, doesn't it? We can just see a bit peekaboo in there. That's very plain. Do we want some of this on there? No. I'm going to put it on there. That will be really nice. I'm finding all these little, we'll be picking punched hole pieces out for ages. looks nice against that. Want something down there. Yes, now have we got a little cut piece as well that'll go? Yes, we do. Okay. So we will put our little cut piece on there. Oh, we've got one that's better. Hope you can still see. I'm moving it about. Yeah, we'll only have to do a bit of a trim on that. I have a little clip somewhere just to clip that down a minute so it doesn't curl up. So think about the other sides as well, how it's going to look from the left. I am going to cut this down because this edge is enough. Sometimes I leave it, sometimes I fold it over. That's better. This is a bit fragile looking. The trouble is with this, if you've got long pieces on your pianola paper, it splits where all the holes join up. Right, let's have a look if there's anything down here. Right, I like that piece. I'm going to let it come over the top like a tab. I'm not going to cut that little piece off. Just trying to make sure you're still in frame. I shouldn't have glued that top bit, should I? But I will do my trick from before. And hang that on there. Okay. Like that. Right. First signature done. Okay, I'm just going to move that out of the way because we'll need some more strips cutting. We have got 2 there. Okay. Sorry, this cutting is making the table jiggle, so I'm sorry if it's making you seasick. This is bigger, I didn't expect that. Okay. I'm just going to cut these 2 down. I'm going to do that separately. Right. that little lot. Put them in my bin. Right then, so can you see? Totally different looks to the ones we had for the first signature. Similar, but because we've done them in different orders, slightly different colours, they work differently. So back to number 2. That's a bit plain, but we'll do something else on there. That would be nice. It's all personal preference really, isn't it? A lot of junk journaling. It's what suits you, what you think will look nice. Might not be what somebody else would have chosen, but that's fine. That's what makes it so different. Right, let's give that a good press. Okay, I'm not putting anything on there. We've got our fringy there. Now, don't want anything on there, but actually this, I'm just going to trim off a bit. That's better. Should we put a strip down here then? Let's see. Okay, that goes nice. Now, the other thing is here, I know it's not entirely square, that edge is. I'm going to put a little hole punch, a little thumb hole in this. So we want enough so that you can see it as an edging, and then we can put something inside that. So let me just mark where I want it to be. So it could be a tuck spot edge. That's new, isn't it? Catherine's tuck spot edge. That's another one of those. Let's put it where my marker is. Tuck spot edge. There we go. I love that. Oh dear. Now then, this would be nice to have one there, I think. Have we got anything that's got a bit more blue? Well, that's got a touch more blue in it there to tie that blue in, or just want a little bit of blue. Oh, we'll have that one. My glue book's sticking to the blinking table now. Right. Stick that. No. No, 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 silly girl. This wants to go on the edge. Don't know what I'm thinking of there. Stuck it in the wrong bit. I was thinking, oh, I don't need to go that far over. That's all right. Oh, bits of rubbish sticking to it now, look. Okay. And I know what we could do. We've got a little bit there. Let's have that as a tab. So when we see it at that side, it will just be plain. that's okay. Good way of using your little edgings. Right, anything here? We could put something in there. We could put something on there. No. Let's have a look at that side. No. I think we could find something nicer. Right. Perfect. We'll put that there. So it's just a matter of flicking through your pages and just decide where you think these edgings will look nice. And bearing in mind, my rule of thumb is nice stepped edges so that you can get the beauty of all the different edges together when you're looking at a certain view of them. And I like that with that one. Turn it over, you've still got some interest on that page. With a bit of cut out bits. Now we might do something else there. Right, what have we got here? Now then, that I like that. So sometimes just look at which piece you think could look better as well. It doesn't matter, but the other thing is you could do this with book pages as well, which would be really nice. All vintage book pages. So you cut all in strips, different foxed colours on it, different fonts. Put them in strips along and then cut down. I think they might have a go at that actually and show you. They might look nice as an alternative. Probably if you're doing a more vintage looking journal, more rustic, I'm not sure it would go perhaps in this. But that's another idea. Right, let's see what we have left now. Do we like that on there? That opens on there. Yeah. I wasn't going to put that on there. I was going to put it there, but I'm trying to cut this on the wonk and it doesn't work. Right, okay, so I only want glue. Part of it there. There we have it. And I'm thinking oops. No, put something else down there, I think. I'll just try that one. No, it's too samey for me. No. Okay then. What you could do though is you could have it at the top edge. Can you remember me saying, don't just think about your edges left and right. And let's just, yeah, think about your tops. Putting some edgings at the top. I'm going to do that half and half. Turn the page over. We've got a little bit of brown there, and we've got this strip. Left over, so that'll back that little bit that's showing. So actually it's a good idea to keep a few strips back that you haven't put on your sort of your edging masterboard, because they can be utilized like so. So you've got that nice edging there, and then when you turn it over, that makes that more interesting. Right. Do I want a bit on there? No, it clashes with that. No. Okay then. Here we go. Yeah, I like it there again. We'll have another little, let's put it there. Little thumb hole. So don't forget, 3 sides only if you're making a little tuck edge. Where I want it on the mark. There you go. Nope. We'll put something different on there. I'm going to make an edge at the top for this one this time, not quite the same as we did on the its counterpart. Okay, let's see what I've got. Anything with a bit of brown in it. That'd be that section. There we go. It's a tab of sorts really, but it still makes it edging when the other paper's opened on it. And let's got these two. Which do I like best? Oh, I've got this thin one as well. Actually like that. So I'm going to put that one on. Right then. We'll just put this on and then we'll have a flick through what we've done. Let's just put my glue lid on. and then we'll have a quick flick through. Actually, they're pretty easy to do, aren't they? They're not, you know, and I suppose if you do it like in batches, you know, some mass making, you can soon get quite a few of those made. And again, you've got them in your stash. I like the uniformity of it to a certain extent, rather than just, you know, you could cut a masterboard up and do that, but I like the demarcation lines going down. I like the effect that gives. So we have only got a few little bits. We've got that bit we cut off, haven't we? We've only got those few left, and some oddments to make some more. So let's see how our journal's looking now then. Don't forget that you need to be subscribed to enter the giveaway. You need to comment on every video in the series, and you need to put the code word down. So if you don't know what the code word is, you need to go and watch the announcement video if you're wanting to enter. Right, and obviously we need one of these to put in our giveaway, don't we? So I'll choose one of the edgings and put it in that. So you've got one of that example, whoever wins it. Right, let's have a look. See how nice already. What are we? 4th video in? 3rd video in? 3rd? I can't remember now. I think it's the 3rd. Look how lovely that is. We have got some decoration going that way, but we will be putting more in that, so that's as decorative. But look how lovely it's looking. So we did that one there. I love these colours. So our baggie there. That's nice there. It's quite a thick card, that, with the holes in. That one there. Take that off now. See how nice that looks that way. Oops, my fringing. This pianola paper is going to be a nuisance, you can see, can't you? I might have to put some reinforced, some washi tape down that, because you can see it's going to play up. Still got plenty of places to do other things. There's our edge tuck, Catherine's edge tuck. I always get these things that aren't to say, don't I? Love that. I love that. That little section there just gives me so much joy. I love it. Another tuck edge. got a top edge in there instead of a side one. We'll be doing more of top edgings later on. And then that's the last piece. That looks really, really effective, doesn't it? I am really pleased. Look at all this gorgeousness here. Lovely. Okay then, so thank you for joining me. Next part of the journal done, and I'll see you next video for some more loveliness of making edgings. Okay then, bye.